Duplication glitches, or dupes, are bugs that can be taken advantage of within the game to create duplicates of items. These dupes are often a product of the plugins added to Minecraft servers, and while some are found by accident, others are brute forced or manually created by the server admins. 6b6t has had plenty of dupes added to the server over the years, and today let's talk about a few of them, how they affected the server as a whole, and give a tutorial for the dupes that still work. A bit of history before we begin. Technically, the 6b6t.org domain has existed for about 6 years, but when people talk about modern 6b6t, they only refer to the past 3 years, which is when Cubasti took over as admin and reset the world for the final time. While there's not a lot recorded from before Cubasti took over, one of the first dupes in the server's history was the chunker or crafting table dupe, which just involved spamming the recipe book and allowed you to create hundreds of items very quickly. While this has not been a dupe on the modern 6b6t server, I did want to include it as if you go looking, you'll find videos from 5 years ago that could be misinterpreted. After Cubasti took over managing 6b6t and reset the world, the infamous dupe known as the item frame dupe was added. It involves spinning a shulker box in an item frame and removing it on the same frame as the spin, causing the item to duplicate. It was purposefully added, and despite being one of the slower duplication methods, it's one of the easiest and most popular. As for different events, such as the Christmas event, this dupe is re-added to the server. For 2023, many clans started brute forcing their own duplication methods. The clans Colonizadores, IKEA, and Lag Gang all discovered their own dupes. Traditionally, these clans would privately use the dupes for a few days to increase their own stash, then publicly release them on YouTube to get attention from the community, while the dupes would be patched a few days after being leaked. The colonizers discovered 3 dupes which they called Toro dupe, and IKEA had 6 versions of IKEA dupe. All of these would eventually be patched before many groups found a way to automate the infamous donkey dupe. Now, 6b6t has had many different ways to dupe with donkeys. Some involve killing a donkey while others just use auto mount. But because over 20 different ways to dupe with them have been discovered over the years, every single one has been used successfully on 6b6t before being patched. Earlier, I mentioned a clan named IKEA. The 6b6t blog has called this group Masters of Duping and Exploits. During their time on the server, they discovered 6 different duplication glitches, with version 1 of their dupe allowing for over 1,000 shulkers every minute. They quickly gained one of the largest stashes on the server, and in all of Anarchy history, with over 50,000 double chests. If we assume that each chest was full, that means that this storage had over 2.7 million shulkers full of items. This stash was absolutely legendary and broke records in the Anarchy community. The question is, what do you even do with all of those items? While other players dreamed of finding the stash, IKEA grew more and more dissatisfied with the server and the community. So out of protest, they ended up self-griefing the stash, destroying every single one of those items. This act of self-destruction was a sign of confidence in their ability to rebuild, and their assuredness that duplication would continue. After a controversial period with the server's admins, where the server actually went down for a few days, the 6b6t staff posted a big announcement video promoting the revival of the server. In the video, they teased that there had been a secret added to the server, and players quickly discovered what would be known as the 12 dupes. The 12 dupes were added by a 6b6t admin named Zim, and over the next few weeks, all of them would be discovered and made public. After a few hours of being public, they would be patched out. But during this period, the server was pushed to its absolute limits by countless players working to figure them out. Except, there were actually 13 duplication glitches found. One involved hitting a player with a channeling trident and the lightning would dupe that player's held shulker. One had players get rammed by a goat. Another had you throw a shulker at a fox. Players would throw shulkers onto a cactus and would dupe it based on how high the cactus was. Two dupes involved an anvil either crushing multiple shulkers or, when that got patched, just one but from a height of 19 blocks. Two dupes involved a shulker near a dragon egg, either next to it or above it. One had you dispense items into a minecart, another had you blow up a minecart with a fire charge. Then there were three with pistons, either just placing one in front of a zero-tick piston, or a second where it only worked when a shulker was placed on a hopper with said piston, or a third where you had two pistons quickly ramming into each other. As for which dupe was natural and which 12 were artificially added, we might never know. On January 28th, Cubasti announced the inclusion of community goals, where, when the server gets enough donations, an event is held. The first was an illegals event, held on February 28th, and during the event, the admins also turned on the item frame dupe again. The second event was on May 30th, and again, the admins turned on the item frame dupe for 24 hours. On this same day, 6b6t hit its highest player count yet at 582 online at once. After the event was over, Cubasti said that more events would continue, but also made it clear that he does not like adding dupes to the server as he believes it hurts the server's economy. As far as when the next dupe will be active, we don't know, but the admins have hinted that there will be another one for the next community goal. Today, there are a few dupes active, but none of them are for shulkers and massive amounts of items. They work only on items like TNT, rails, or, my personal favorite, this is a carpet duper. By moving the slime blocks quickly back and forth, we can dupe carpets in any colors and allow for mass production. This is really only used if you're creating map arts, which is why it's still allowed to be active. But if you would like to build one, all you need is a sticky piston, an observer, a coral fan, and as many slime blocks as you would like. Then just create a piston clock with your slime blocks attached. Then the coral fan on the bottom and the carpets above it. When you turn the piston clock on, it will duplicate any carpets attached to the slime blocks.